Alright, I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say that we are live. I'm not even going to check, and if we are not streaming, then I'll just upload this after the fact. Anyway, hello and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar. That's when you say your source.
This Day in History.
Nope, the third one.
Oh, I forgot.
The website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, anything else we gather throughout the show, check the description. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander.
I am the Muffin Man.
And today is Thursday, also known as Thursday, March 24th, 2022. Why don't you start us off today, Mr. Muffin?
Sure. So, 1199 or 1199, we got King Richard I of England is wounded by a crossbow bullet while fighting in France, leading to his death on April 6th.
Dang. That's 12 days, so he lived in agony for like 12 days. That sucks.
That's almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 days shorter. Moving on up to 1387, English victory over a Franco-Castilian Flemish fleet occurred during the Battle of Margate off the coast of Margate. Oh. Alright.
Anyways, it got 1401. We got Turco-Mongol Emperor Timur Sax Damascus, whatever. Damascus. Oh my God, these words.
Yeah. 202 years later, in 1603, James VI of Scotland was proclaimed King James I of England and Ireland upon the death of Elizabeth I.
Oh. The same year, we got Tokugawa, whatever the name is. I'm sorry, I apologize. It was Iyashu.
That's an I.
Names. Anyways, is granted the title of Shogun from Emperor Goyozi. Hope I pronounced it Goyozi. And establishes the Tokugawa. Oh my God, I already forgot. Tokugawa. Jesus Christ. Gosh.
Shogunate.
In Edo, Japan.
Oh my goodness. Jumping on up into 1720, Count Frederick of Hesse Castle was elected King of Sweden by the Riksdag and of the Estates. After his consort Ulrika Eleonora abdicated the throne on February 29th.
Huh. Interesting.
Do you want me to take two and you take one so that way you don't struggle too much?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I literally don't care.
Alright. I don't mind.
Okay. You want me to do the 1721 here?
Go for it.
Okay. Anyways, you got Johann. Yeah. Anyways, Johann Sebastian Bach or Bach. Whatever. Bach. Anyways, dedicated 6 concertos to Margrave Christian Ludwig. Oh, wait. Interesting names. Anyways, oh God. Brandenburg Swedge. Anyways, now commonly called. Oh my goodness gracious. Brandenburg Concertos BWV. Anyways, in 1046 through 1050.
Welcome, Mr. Lunk. Welcome to the show. Jumping up to 1765, Great Britain passed the Quartering Act, which required the 13 colonies to house British troops. Yep. That didn't work out too well.
You. And we got this lovely
I think we should let Lunk take this. You've suffered enough already. You need a break. If Mr. Lunk is there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Oh.
You want to take 1794, good sir?
Yeah. 1794 in Chronicle, Jesu Kosiko announces a general uprising against Imperial Russia and the Kingdom of Prussia, and assumes the powers of the commander-in-chief of all of the Polish forces.
Interesting. Anyways, I can take this 1829 here. The Parliament of the United Kingdom passes the Roman Catholic Relief Act of 1829, allowing Catholics to serve in Parliament.
Nice. About 3 years after that, in 1832, in Hiram, Ohio, a group of men beat and tar and feather Mormon leader Joseph Smith. Good.
When he found out he was a liar.
Yeah, good. They should have done a lot more to him, like end him and his crazy-ass cult, but people back then, as they are now, are just way too lenient on those who need to be removed from this planet.
It's about too many movements.
Anyway, moving on up to 1854, President Jose Gregorio Monagas abolished slavery in Venezuela. Nice.
You want me to do this suffering in 1860 here?
Up to you.
I can take it. Why not? Do a little suffering here.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. In 1860, God, I don't know why I can say that. Anyways, they got Sakara Daman incident. Japanese Chief Minister Taro Lee Natsuku is assassinated by Ronin samurai outside of Sakurada Gate of Edo Castle.
And isn't Edo where Tokyo is now, I believe? So.
I'm not too familiar about it, so I got no idea.
I think it is. Let me look it up real quick. While I'm doing that,
I think that's Edo period.
Yeah, it was a time period, but where was Edo? I think Edo, Japan. Edo Castle, capital Japan, de facto. Edo. So let's see here. That looks like Tokyo. Location of the former city of Edo. Yeah, okay, I was right. Yeah, it is Tokyo now. I'm going to add this to the underbar if anybody wants to look up Edo and everything. Mr. Lunk, do you want to take 1869 for us?
Yeah, 1869, the last of the Tito Cowan forces surrendered to the New Zealand government, ending its uprising.
Moving on up 9 years into 1878, the British frigate HMS Eurydice sunk, killing more than 300. Jeez. R.I.P. Leonidas.
Yeah. Anyways, I will take the first 1900 here. You got Carnegie Steel Company is formed in New York. No, I'm about to say New York. In New Jersey, its capitalization of $160 million is the largest to date. Wow. It's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Back then, it was a lot more. So.
Yeah, it was more value.
Yeah, well, that's $160 million in that money. So $160 million today.
No, wait. Let me do this first. Then I'm going to use the bathroom.
Okay.
Also in 1900, Mayor of New York City Robert Anderson Van Wyck breaks ground for a new underground rapid transit railroad that would make Manhattan and Brooklyn. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice, dude.
Huh.
Yeah, dude, the amount of things underground in New York is truly staggering. Like, and most of it is not even used anymore. You know, like, it's crazy. Like, it's
It's all
absolutely bananas.
abandoned.
Anyway,
Yeah.
21 years later. I'm sorry?
Yeah, they had an awesome underground network.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, like, not just, like, you know, for transit and everything, but, like, the roads, the sewers, the electrical stuff. Don't forget all the steam, and don't forget all the pneumatic tubes. You know, they have, like, a whole series of pneumatic tubes from back in the day. And, you know, just to stick a shovel in the ground, you're going to have to, like, you know, spend, like, 18 months trying to figure out what's under that ground. You know, it's absolutely astonishing, staggering what's under that ground.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on up to 1921, the 1921's Women's Olympiad began in Monte Carlo, becoming the first international women's sports event. Oh. 101 years ago today.
Yeah. Anyways, moving up 6 years later, we got 1927, the Nanking Incident. Foreign warships bombarded Nanking, China. I think that's how you pronounce it. In defense of the foreign citizens within the city.
Okay. So to defend the people, you're going to shell them. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Jumping on up to 1934, the Tidings Mcduffie Act was passed by the United States Congress, allowing the Philippines to become a self-governing commonwealth. Good, even though they're still our protectorate or something, as is Puerto Rico and the Bahamas.
Yeah. Anyways, this is going to be kind of interesting because it's during World War II here. In 1944, we got the German troops massacre 335 Italian civilians in Rome, Italy.
I wonder why. I guess that's after Italy switched sides to us, but still, that's... Let me look that up here. Like that's weird. Come on.
Yeah, it's March 24th.
The
1944.
Argentine Massacre. Yeah. The Argentine Massacre, or Fosse Argentine Massacre, was a mass killing of 335 civilians and political prisoners carried out in Rome on March 24th, 1944, by German occupation troops during the Second World War as a reprisal for the Via Rasella attack in central Rome against the SS Police Regiment Boston the previous day. Alright, so it was a retaliatory massacre, but still a massacre nonetheless. People died.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Moving on up to 1944 as well, also during the Second World War, in an event later dramatized in the movie The Great Escape, 76 Allied prisoners of war began breaking out of the German camp Stalag Luft III. Interesting. I gotta watch that movie.
With The Great Escape.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Anyways, we got 2 years later in 1946. 1946. I don't know why it's
1940 Twix, or Twix.
Twix.
1940 Twix.
Twix. A good old British cabinet mission arrives in India to discuss and plan for the transfer of power from the British Raj to Indian leadership.
Good. That means India's getting a little bit of independence. About time. So.
Yeah.
About 30 years later, in 1976, in Argentina, the armed forces overthrew the constitutional government of President Isabel Perón and started a 7-year dictatorial period self-styled the National Reorganization Process. Ooh, that's interesting.
Sounds like fun. Anyways, we got a year later, oh lord, 1977, Maharaj Desai became the Prime Minister of India, the first Prime Minister not to belong in Indian National Congress. Oh, that's
intriguing.
Interesting. Yeah.
3 years later, in 1980, El Salvadorian Archbishop Oscar Romero was assassinated while celebrating Mass in San Salvador. Another assassination.
Yep. I like how different shows have their own theme when it comes to different themes. I think they're pretty interesting. But anyways, in 1986, which is 6 years later, we got the last co-gas explosion leads to new UK laws on landfill gas migration and gas protection on landfill sites.
Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to realize that, and I didn't either until I learned about this. But they don't just dump trash in a hole and bury it. There's a complex system of pipes and everything to redirect all the methane and carbon monoxide and all the other gases from all the stuff breaking down. It's got to go somewhere. So
all the decomposing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a very complex systems, piping and all that stuff to redirect all that to prevent incidents like this. So
some could light a cigarette, and there could be a whole bunch of pocket methane somewhere, and
if you're not careful and if it's not done right, and the entire landfill can go up. And think about a bomb the size of a hill,
Yeah, like a big TNT explosion type
yeah. Moving on up into 1989, the Prince in Prince William Sound in Alaska, the Exxon Valdez spilled 240,000 barrels or 38,000 meters of crude oil after running aground.
Ouch.
A couple years after I was born.
Which is kind of interesting. Ship yesterday, I was leaking oil, which wasn't good. But anyways, 4 years later, in 1993, we got Comet Shoemaker. That kind of interesting. Levi 9 is discovered by Caroline and Eugene Shoemaker. That's kind of interesting last name. And David Levi at the Polymer Observatory in California.
Nice. 5 years after that, in 1998, Mitchell Johnson and Andrew Golden, aged 11 and 13 respectively, fired upon teachers and students at Westside Middle School in Jonesboro, Arkansas, causing the deaths of 5 people and the injury of 10.
Dude, how the hell did an 11 and 13-year-old guy... I mean, I understand probably from parents and brought to school and say,
where there's a will, there's a way, and the only thing that ever happens when you make laws against people owning certain things, all that does is, make black markets and make it more difficult for honest people to get things, and doesn't actually change anything for the bad guys. If anything, it makes the world better for them, because now you've made more of a demand and less of a supply, and they can charge more, and maybe that's what the government wants, because we all know about Operation Fast and Furious. How many CIA planes, have been caught smuggling cartel drugs? It's obvious what's going on. Just open your eyes, people. Realize the truth. These laws aren't here for your protection. They're here to make money.
It's really about the underneath scheme that's going on, but...
Yep. I mean, if you look at all the drugs that are illegal, the pharmaceutical companies have an exact same thing of all the drugs that are illegal, just with a different name. So,
yeah, all for medical purposes, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyway, jumping up into 1998, Dr. Rudiger Marmula performed the first computer-assisted bone segment navigation at the University of Regensburg, Germany. What the hell is a bone segment navigation? That sounds
terrible.
Seems like something involving bones.
Computer-assisted bone segment navigation is defined as the precise 3D positioning of geometrically mapped and mathematically described skeletal segments. So that's interesting. Setting bones.
So a more accurate mapping of the human body.
Yeah. So that's really interesting.
Oh. Aches and pains.
Welcome to my world. We're getting older.
Anyways, we got 1999. We got Kosovo War. NATO began attacks on Yugoslavia, right? If I pronounce that, without United Nations Security Council or UNC. Yeah. Oh my gosh, UNC. I swear to God.
United Nations Security Council.
Yeah, the UNSC, also known as that, approval, marking the first time NATO has attacked a
sovereign.
Oh my God, I know the words. Just
yeah.
Somehow my tongue's being lazy today. Country.
UNSC. That sounds like something from Halo, the United Nations Space Command.
Yeah, that's what I'm always used to saying.
Yeah.
But it's a little twist up there. That's what got me a little confused.
Hey, we have a Space Force, and, we've been looking into super soldier stuff since, like, the 1940s, even before that. So it's just a matter of time before Spartans become a real thing, and we will have a Master Chief. So
yeah.
We'll have a Captain America before we have a Master Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Lunk, do you want to take
99? We already have Iron Man.
Well, that's 99.
Also, in 1999, a lorry carrying margarine and flour catches fire inside the Mont Blanc tunnel, creating an inferno that kills 38 people. Oh my God, that's horrible.
Ooh.
Yeah. Margarine is oil, which is flammable, and flour dust is flammable. Flour itself might be flammable, so, that's not...
Pretty much, he had a fucking bomb.
Yeah, essentially. Jumping on up into 2003, the Arab League voted 21-1 in favor of a resolution demanding the end to the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Who the hell was the first person who wanted to continue? What the...
America.
Because you were whacked.
We're not finished yet.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got 5 years later in 2008, we got Putin officially becomes a democracy with the first ever general election. I know I pronounced that wrong, but I don't give 2 cents.
Okay. Also, 2015, German wing flight 9525 crashes in the French Alps in the apparent pilot mass murder suicide, killing all 150 on board.
Jesus
Fuck.
Christ.
So that's actually attempted.
That's actually a thing. Like, that happens.
Yeah.
Like...
Wow.
Like, I became a pilot to take care of my fears. Oh, your fear of heights? No, my fear of dying alone.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
So, here you go.
I pilot to get rid of my fear of people.
They'll learn to fear me. 3 years later, in 2018, during the Syrian Civil War, the Turkish Armed Forces, or TAF, and Syrian National Army, or SNA, took full control of Afrin district, marking the end of the Afrin offensive.
Good.
Anyways, same year in 2018, we got students across the United States staged the March of Our Lives, demanding gun control in response to the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. I remember that shit.
What a bunch of mindless sheep. What did I just say? Gun control does absolutely fucking nothing.
Ain't shit. Gun is a gun. When it fire bullets, it's still the same shit.
You want to know why Australia went through what it did? Because they have very strict gun laws. You want to know why Pol Pot was able to do what he did? Stalin, Hitler, us to the Native Americans, what Mao Zedong has done. Every single thing, gun control. Because an armed population doesn't get into the boxcars willingly. So, Anyway, last but not least, in 2019, we have Jakarta MRT, a rapid transit system in Jakarta, began operation. Cool. Really cool. Before we get into bursts and deaths, as per usual, any articles spark your interest today?
I thought all the gun control stuff is kind of off leading lately, but Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the gun violence and all that.
Yeah.
There's nothing really to my memory like that. That there is even anything in here that was interesting. Oh well, The Great Escape. That's cool.
Yeah, The Great Escape is the greatest thing because it was inspired by a movie with Bruce Willis in it. Ironically.
Oh, the German. Dude, everybody's...
Yeah, that's another thing we found out. He was German.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a German.
He was. Anyway, who wants to start off the burst today?
That is an interesting name.
Yeah.
You say it, you claim it. You say it's interesting, you claim it.
It's yours. Start us
Yeah.
off.
Don't be the rule.
Yui.
What year first?
I should say the year first, my bad. In 1103 here, we got Yui Fi, Chinese military general. Oh my god, that is an interesting name, but no.
Yes. Also, in 1693, John Harrison, English carpenter and clockmaker who invented the marine chronometer. Ooh. I think that's something involving water.
Yeah, a marine chronometer is a precision timepiece that is carried on a ship and employed in the determination of the ship's position by celestial navigation. It is used to determine longitude by comparing Greenwich Mean Time and the time at the current location found from observations of celestial bodies. Dude, this analog stuff is not even taught in the Navy anymore, and that's horrifying because, we're so reliant on our technology that all it takes is one solar flare, one EMP, one erroneous wire, and then and you're stranded at sea. If you don't know how to read the stars, you're screwed. People have got to learn, the tried and true methods of the old, mix them in with what we have today, but don't lose our past knowledge. Otherwise, we're screwed.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna jump off. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay, man. You have a good one.
You too.
Moving on up into 1725, we have Thomas Cushing, an American lawyer and politician who is the first lieutenant governor of Massachusetts.
Huh.
If you want, I can take this one. This next one. Okay. 1816, we have Pelagio Antonio de la Batista y Davalos, a Mexican politician, Roman Catholic archbishop, and regent during the Second Mexican Empire.
Oh. I'm thirsty. In 1874, we got Harry Houdini, Hungarian. I swear to God, if my tongue works today. Hungarian Jewish U.S. magician actor.
Yeah, his real name was Eric Wises. Harry Houdini was a stage name.
Oh.
1887, we have Roscoe Arbuckle, an American actor, director, and screenwriter. And, Arbuckle, something in Arbuckle. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, Roscoe Conkling Fatty Arbuckle. That was his name, Fatty Arbuckle. So, yeah.
Most likely, this is probably the case in 1892 because it kind of fits in. We got Marsden Morse, American mathematician and academic. Morse code? Question mark.
No, according to the internet here, Morse code was named after Samuel Morse, one of the inventors of the telegraph.
Oh.
So it's not this guy. So, 1901, we have Ube Iwerks, a U.S. animator, director, and producer who co-created Mickey the Rat. He's not a mouse, he's a rat.
I'm sorry, that's Ube. Anyways, I'm laughing over the stupid shit. Anyways, 10 years later in 1911, we got Joseph Barbara. I swear to God if I speak correctly. Barbara.
I don't know how to help you.
Just don't. Anyways, he is a U.S. animator, director, and producer who co-founded Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera. 1919, we have Lawrence Ferlinghetti, a U.S. a U.S. poet and publisher who co-founded City Lights Bookstore.
Oh, interesting. 1 year later, we got in 1920, we got Jeannie Nelson, U.S. actor, director, and screenwriter.
And the name is very vaguely familiar. Gene Nelson.
Okay.
T for Two, Lullaby of Broadway, Crimeway. I'm not recognizing any of these movies. But anyway, 1926, we have Dario Fo, an Italian playwright, actor, director, and composer.
Oh, interesting. 4 years later, we got 1930. David Dacko, who is a Central African politician who was the first president of the Central African Republic.
Yep. And holy Jesus, what is that? What is that, Private Pile? In 1944, we have R. Lee Ermey, a U.S. gunnery sergeant and actor. He was the guy in Full Metal Jacket and Mail Call, and he really actually was a gunnery sergeant. I believe he did serve in Vietnam. So he is a vet. And
that's cool.
Unfortunately, he died back in like 2015 or something. But yeah. Yeah. This next one is supposed to be Louis.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
In 1953, we got Louis Anderson, U.S. actor and comedian.
Are you Big Fat Paulie? I'm Louis Anderson. 1965, we have The Undertaker, a U.S. wrestler and actor. And too bad that Sohan left, because he would have liked this one. So.
Yeah. Ooh. Anyways, in 1973, we got juror Ivan Music, Slovenian actor, concert pianist.
Pianist.
I think it's plan. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I don't know why.
Pianist. Pianist. He's a piano player.
Yeah. Okay. And Chen Sunior, I can't even pronounce what's that? What's that? And he looks like a guy from the Russian YouTube video.
Yeah, he looked kind of like that guy, but like Chansonnier was a poet, songwriter, solitary singer. Oh wait, no, Chansonnier. Oh wait, no, that's a guy. A chansonnier is a manuscript or printed book which contains a collection of chansons or polyphonic and monophonic settings of songs. Hence, literally songbooks, although some manuscripts are so called even though they preserve the text but not the music. So that's what that was. That's what he is. Anyway, 1976, last but not least, Peyton Manning, a U.S. football player and entrepreneur. Everybody should know that name.
Is that Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning?
Oh, it's Peyton? I thought it was, his first name was spelled different. Huh.
Apparently not.
Oh. Interesting.
Anyway, moving on up into deaths in 809, we have Harun al-Rashid, an Arab caliph.
And 1296, we got Udon D. Pins, Grand Master of the Knights Hippostellar?
I think it's Hoffistaller. I think I misspelled that again, but yeah. And I've looked this up before, but I'll look it up again. The Knights Hospitaller. The Order of the Knights of the Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem, commonly known as the Knights Hospitaller, was a medieval and early modern Catholic military order. I'm going to add this into the underbar here in a second. 1684, Peter de Hooch died on this date. He was a Dutch painter with a rather interesting last name.
Excuse me. Hooch.
Hooch. Hooch is crazy.
What happened?
I was just saying Hooch is crazy. It's from Scrubs. There's this character named Hooch who legitimately was crazy, and then he ended up in an insane asylum.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
He was legit crazy.
Uh, Pretty interesting date here in 1776. We got John Harrison, an English carpenter and clockmaker who invented the marine chronometer. Oh, that's the same guy as before.
Yeah, he was born and died on his birthday.
What the
I know, dude, that's a rarity. But that happens.
It's like I remember the marine chronometer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the guy? I was like, and I looked down the bottom and I was like, oh, no shit.
Yeah. Another same day.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm going to make you jealous
That's
here. In
sad.
1824, we have Louis-Marie de la Rivière Le Piron, French lawyer.
These French names, dude. I swear. They make it so complicated. Anyways, in 1881, in Chile, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Anyways,
Achille.
Ernest.
Yeah.
Chile.
A chili pepper.
Yeah. Ernest Oscar, Joseph Delis, of course, another French name here, French geologist and mineralogist.
Mineralogist.
Yeah.
1 year later, in 1882, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, an American poet and educator.
Oh.
Sounds like he was a Longfellow.
And, oh, fuck. Oh, jeez. He sure is a Longfellow.
Oh boy, it's getting a little weird in here. Let's keep on track.
Anyways, in 1905, we got Jules Verne, I think. He was a French novelist, poet, and playwright.
Yeah, Jules Verne, Journey to the Center of the Earth, to the moon and beyond, the writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he wrote 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, too. I'm not entirely sure. 1938, we have Yondan Wang Chung, a Mongolian politician.
That is one hell of a name right there.
Yup.
Oof. Anyways, in 1951, you got Lorena Hodgkinson, Australian educator and occasional cyclist, right? Yeah.
Cyclist!
Cyclist, alright? Don't judge me.
Psychologist. Yeah, an educational bicycle rider. Cycling educationally. Zing zing!
Yep. Exactly.
1956, we have E.T. Whittaker, a British mathematician and physicist. Possibly extraterrestrial.
Maybe. And at the 71, we got Ernie. Oh my god, I cannot pronounce shit.
Arn.
Jacobson, a Danish architect who designed the Radisson Blue Royal Hotel in Era City Hall.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now in Google image search, and that's a weird tower. Huh. That's interesting. That's a really weird tower. Why is the clock only halfway up? What the hell? Anyway. Jumping up into 1976, Bernard Montgomery, 1st Viscount Montgomery of Alamein, died today. He was an English field marshal. And
anyways, yeah, I'm here. In 1993, you got Albert Ehrlin, Australian pianist, composer, actor, and playwright.
Yeah. 2 years later, Joseph Needham passed away on this date. He was an English historian and academic, and I believe he died because he was suffering from a lack of ham. He needs ham. He's a Needham. Give this man some ham.
He needs that salt.
Yep.
Anyways, second to last one here in 2002, we got Bob. 2002, yeah. Bob said, U.S. race car driver and bobsledder.
Yeah. And in 2013, we have Francis Hovell Thurlow Cumming Bruce, 8th Baron Thurlow. He was an English diplomat. That is one hell of a last name. And that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar for any links that you may be interested in, which also includes Sohen's Twitch, that he games on and everything every now and then, and everything on the Coalition, which I highly advise people to go click one of those links, go to the OMNI Coalition's Rumble or YouTube or BitChute or whatever else that we got, and subscribe over there, because it's just a matter of time before, the thought police here at Google decide to shut this show down. So, but they cannot keep our voices silenced. They could just force us to move somewhere else. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, we stream daily every day at 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, or at least try to. I am A.O. Xander.
I'm the Muffin Man, a.k.a. Kyle by Potion.
Yep. And you are you. And until you see us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection. Rate 5 thumbs if you wish, subscribe if you want, whatever. Toodles!